Bienvenido, BIGJAY, escape a República Dominicana. Hasta pronto, papi.
BIGJAY, take one.
Buenos dias. Peace, love, manners, and respect. It's BIGJAY again. Top of the morning. Paula Plala. Hope everybody's doing fine and well out there. If you're working hard, trying to gather up all your money, or some of your money, or some savings, or whatever, try and get your next vacation. Keep working. You'll get there. If you are a part-time expat like me, salute. If you're a full expat, or you're just an expat, salute. Please smash that like button. Please subscribe. Go and check out my old videos, please. It's very important. Definitely go and check out my old videos. I've got some gems in there that you might have missed. And I just appreciate everybody, for tapping in. I appreciate my 150 views. I appreciate my 300 views. I appreciate the 2 views that I get. And that's real. I really appreciate that. So thanks to everybody that does tune in and support the channel. I've been thinking a lot and been asking myself, should I do this vlog? And as I'm doing it right now, and you can see my brain racing, should I cut the camera off? Should I just do it? Well, I've always been a man of principle and morals. I've also said to myself, I'm going to stay away from all of, that whole YouTube circus, which I've successfully done. There's still time to mess up, but I've successfully done. But I have an opinion. I do have an opinion, and I'm going to use it. One thing I'm not going to do with it is abuse people or disrespect people because I don't agree with the way that they do things. But I'm still going to have an opinion about things. So, yeah, I can have an opinion about things without, as I said, disrespecting people. I can have an opinion. Which brings me to this conversation. The late, great Kevin Samuels. Me personally, I'm not going to say that I agree with everything what Kevin Samuels said, because I don't, I really don't agree with everything what Kevin Samuels says. What I can say is that I took away a few gems from Kevin Samuels. A lot of the stuff what Kevin Samuels was saying echoed conversations that I had with my fellow brothers, fellow comrades for years. Kevin just came at the right time and echoed what all of us have been saying for years and years. What I loved about Kevin was he was so outspoken, he wasn't afraid to say what was on his mind. He had charisma, definitely. He was very goal orientated, which I loved. his passion for putting out, you know, his, what's the word I'm looking for? His vision for black men, his vision for men per se, his message. I just liked everything about this guy, you know. I liked everything about Kevin. Unfortunately, you know, he passed away, as the majority of you know, last year. And through that, there was a open door, because let's face it, I mean, Kevin Samuels, I remember Kevin Samuels when he used to do perfumes reviews. You know, this nerdy looking type guy, you know. And next time you saw him, this guy was just totally revamped. It was like a different person. And he did actually do a talk on that, don't be afraid to reinvent yourself, which I stand tall on. And there's nothing wrong with reinventing yourself or becoming the person that you've always wanted to become. Nothing wrong with that. So like I said, you know, there was a lot of people running for that spot because, you know, his untimely demise left a gap. So, you know, you had some podcasters fresh and fit to be one, and even though they're demonetized now, and just to name one, you know, I'm not gonna say they took the spot, but they entered that whole MANOSPHERE section, the talking points. So there was a rush for Kevin Samuels' spot, which I can totally understand. You know, people want the limelight, people want the YouTube check. I get it, you know. I only can imagine what Kevin Samuels' check was like. Which brings me to a young man. Which brings me to a young man that popped up on my radar. Well, I wouldn't say he popped up on my radar, but there was whispers about him through WhatsApp groups. I didn't really pay much attention to it, to be quite honest, but there was whispers about this young man. Who are we talking to? Who are we talking about? Not talking to. We are talking about a young man named Austin Hollman. I heard whispers about his name through the WhatsApp groups. You know, him growing, having an opinion, and you know, doing shows and so forth. Anyway, as the time progressed, the megahertz started hearing his name again, Austin Hollman. Who's this Austin Hollman? Austin Hollman was traveling to Brazil, so I decided, you know, let me do a little recon work. Let me see who this Austin Hollman is. You know, intrigued. I didn't know who he was. So when I looked up who he was, okay, you know, young guy, 22. According to him, you know, successful barber. Believe that if I'm not mistaken, I think he wrote a book, How to Become a Successful Barber. Don't quote me on that, or a 6-figure barber, something like that. You know, young man, healthy. Look like he's enjoying life and so forth, but he decided to get a passport and travel the world. I mean, I wish I was doing that at 22. So, and I don't want anybody out there, this is not an Austin Holleman, get at Austin Holleman video. So I don't want anybody out there thinking that, oh, this is but look at the title of the video, and, you know, as I said, it's not a get at Austin Holleman video. So I saw this young man traveling to different countries. I saw this young man having an opinion. I saw this young man giving out advice. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, give out advice as long as you know what you're talking about, give out advice. As time is going on, I'm starting to see these hateful Austin Holleman videos. people being angry at him, him getting banned, well, so-called ban, I don't know if there's a letter of intent to ban him, I don't know, but him getting, hearing him getting banned from Brazil or getting kicked out of Brazil, excuse me, him going to Africa, him making silly comments according to a lot of you. And I've just seen men my age, sorry, there's these bloody flies, man. There's these guys my age, sorry, these flies are just totally, there's these guys my age getting in their feelings about Austin Hollman, to the point that they're making videos about this young man, disrespecting this young man, calling this young man out. But what's confusing to me is that Austin Holleman's 22/23. He's left America. He's jumped on a plane at 22. Or maybe he could have been younger, I don't know. He decided that he's gonna travel out of his country of origin and start dating women, sleeping with women, I don't know. And he got disrespected for that. Now my thing is this, people. Put yourself in a, matter of fact, to those who I am talking to out there, that's, you know, of a mature age. We've been 22, we've been 23. Personally, me, if I had a time machine, I would jump in the time machine, go back in time and probably slap the shit out of myself for doing dumb shit. But this is what you do when you're young. You do stupid shit. You make mistakes. You say the wrong things. You make the wrong turns. So why do we not expect that of Austin Hollman? He's a young man. He's got no kids. He probably hasn't even got a mortgage back home. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if he's still living at home with his mum. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe he might have his own apartment. I don't know. But he's 22/23 years old. You cannot expect this 22-year-old, 23-year-old young man to remotely know anything on your level as a mature person about life. Personally, I've seen grown-ass men lose it, like literally go crazy over Austin Hollman. And I'm sitting there thinking, hold on a minute, he's a 23, 22-year-old man. You're 50 plus, 40 plus, late 30s plus. Why are you getting in your feelings about what a 22-year-old and a 23-year-old says? You see, I'm not going to get in my feelings for it because, and here's why, because there's nothing that Austin Hollman can teach me. I'm 45 years old. There's nothing, I'll repeat myself again, there's nothing Austin Hollman can teach me about life. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, I'm not saying that I'm that ignorant that we as grown people, we can't learn from the younger generation. There's lots we can learn from the younger generation, right? I'm not that ignorant. You know, hey, my daughters have taught me a thing or two. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we're always learning. But in terms of life, relationships, my fatherhood, being a grandfather, dealing with different levels of my life and growing as a person, there's nothing Austin Hollman can tell me. There's nothing that Austin Hollman can say that would affect or offend me as a grown-ass man. Nothing. So my point is this. What's more concerning to me is, as I said, grown-ass men getting in their feelings about what Austin Hollman is saying. What kind of gets to me is grown-ass men You're telling me that there's grown-ass men out there that are 50 plus, 40 plus, late 30s plus. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go and, you know, support this brother's channel. Go and support this young man's channel. I'd rather him travel around the world than end up on drugs or robbing someone's yard or going to jail for 10 years. So I salute that young brother for jumping on the plane and traveling and doing these things. And that's on some real shit. I salute that. However, why are grown-ass men my age following what Austin Hollman's saying? That's more concerning to me than Austin Hollman doing his podcast, doing his chats. You know, that's not concerning. He's 23 years old. I expect what comes out of Austin Hollman's mouth to be of a 22, 23-year-old mind, because he doesn't know much about life. He hasn't lived life yet. He hasn't gone through certain scenarios that I've gone through or any other woman or man out there that has gone through. He's just, how can I put it? And I've listened to some of his stuff, and you can see it's repeated stuff from elders that have been passport brothers or have traveled, or, you know, you can see some Kevin Samuel-esque little talking points here and there. So you can see, as the young generation does, they always follow the elders. As my aunt used to say, there's nothing new under the sun. Everything's recycled, everything's repeated. So you can see he's taken certain key elements and key points, and he's maybe talking to people his age that are going to listen. Guys my age, no, there's got to be something seriously wrong with you. If you haven't figured out life by now, and you haven't got enough common sense to put A, B, C together, or in that order, then you way beyond help. And this, as I said, this is no slight at Austin. I have seen millions of videos like disrespecting this young man. And personally, let this young man live. Let this young man live. He's probably not even talking to you guys. He's probably talking to guys his age, maybe guys a few years older. They're gonna learn their mistakes. How did you learn your mistakes? You learned your mistakes by making mistakes. He's gonna make mistakes. He's still making mistakes. You know, he said something about he dropped his level to be with an African woman. He's gonna say stupid shit. He's a young man. Think about it. This young man got on a plane. He went to another country. So hold on a minute. I get treated better in Brazil or wherever he went first than what I get treated. He's young, dumb, full of cum. Of course he's going to get overexcited and go on TikTok and remember, hey, guess what, guys? The pom-pom over here is a lot better than what it is in America. He's a young, excited man. Let him live his life. But you, as a grown-ass men, making videos and taking advice, I'm sorry, the microscope has got to be on you guys, personally. It's got to be on you guys, because if you're taking time to actually listen and decipher what this young man's saying, instead of giving this young man game or pulling this young man to a side and having a word, and that's if you know him, having a word with him, you know, educating him, giving him some game or whatever. No, you run to the internet and totally slew this young man. Why? He's not talking to you. He's probably talking to the young lads that are his age that want to jump on. It's almost like the training game or the bodybuilding game. You have a lot of the young cats that come into the bodybuilding game and they just want to quickly stick a needle in their arm. You know, they want to take SARMs, stick needle, and they want to take hormone replacement. And you see them. You know, you'll see them in 3 months. It's like, hold a minute, young man, you're 24. Why are you taking hormone replacement? Your hormones are, you know what I mean, are good. You know, your hormone levels are good. You know, your test levels are good. Why you want to take testosterone and up it? You know what I mean? Just to get a quick fix? No. you know, but because they're not educated, they're probably listening to someone of 23 that makes a video about bodybuilding, telling them to put this in their system and that in the system. They're gonna listen to them. So this is my whole point. Is Austin Hollman videos for 23-year-olds or 25, 26-year-old young guys running around doing their thing? Maybe it's for them. Ain't for you. Ain't for you. It definitely ain't for me. Because like I said, there's nothing Austin Hollman can tell me. But at the same time, I salute this young brother for jumping on an aeroplane, for living his dream, for living his life, for exploring different cultures, you know, bringing it to YouTube, sharing his knowledge, sharing his wisdom that he has. I appreciate that. I really do. At the same time, I can watch it, I can watch his content and come away as a big man and say, you know what? He's got a lot to learn. But in his own time, he'll learn. He'll learn. You can't rush. You can't expect a 23-year-old to have a mind of a 45-year-old. It's just not going to happen. He's got to go through his motion and his movements. Now, am I saying that we can't pull our youngers or our children to one side and tap them and say, yo, behave yourself, think? I ain't saying that we shouldn't do that. Okay, if you know him, pull him to one side, but to make videos, and there's even African content creators making videos on him now, having a field day. And it's like, I understand, maybe it's for the views, maybe it's for the money, maybe it's for the clout, maybe it's for the attention. I think clout is attention, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's for that, I don't know. Maybe they're doing it for different things. Maybe they want to jump onto Austin's algorithm and yeah, get the benefits from it. So, you know, my whole thing is this, man. If it ain't for you, why the hell are you listening? Why you gotta make a rebuttal video? Why you gotta keep this young man's name in your mouth at every given subject? Why? Because that's all I hear. Austin, Austin, Austin. It's like you brothers can't help but mention Austin Hollman's name. This guy is living his dream. What are you living? What are you doing with your life? You busy talking about this young man. What are you doing with your life? What, you still in a senseless marriage, sleeping in a spare room, being miserable in your job? What's going on with you? Because I know what's going on with me. I'm too happy. I'm too busy. I'm good. I'm really good. Honestly, Austin Hollman is not even in my peripheral, and that's some real shit. Because I'm getting it, I'm living it, I'm doing it, whatever. I'm enjoying life. I've got good people around me, positive people around me. Every day is something new. I ain't got time to be having any negative energy, putting out negative energy. Nah, I ain't got time for that. Honestly, I don't have time for that. None at all. I just rather just salute this young man. Lift up this young man. If you know him personally, pull him to one side and have a word with him. That's what we do with our youth. We don't just start dissing them and, you know, we come in like them older hip hop heads. I ain't listening to that. No, sometimes we got to embrace the youth, man. Sometimes we have to embrace the youth, because at the end of the day, what he's doing, what Austin's doing, is an offshoot of what you idiots have been doing and putting out. He's only listening to what grown-ass stupid men are saying in their ignorance, not pulling this young man to one side and sort of like educating him. He's just following trend. That's all, and that's why all you grown-ass men are following. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do what thou wilt. Do what thou wilt. That is your law. But don't turn around at the same time and be like, oh, well, he's talking rubbish. It don't make sense. I've seen grown men be angry at Austin, crying about Austin, and at the same time sitting down and watching these videos. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. No grown-ass man on this planet should be taking any advice from Austin Hollman. And that's, I said, that's no disrespect. I say it again, no grown-ass man on this planet should take no advice from Austin Hollman. Me? No. I've got enough knowledge up here to figure it out myself. I don't need a 23-year-old to tell me how I should move, what I should do, where I should find a good woman. Nah, I've got that all up here already. I'm good. But you guys, some of you guys might need that, and that's fine. But don't hail him up and then cry about him, and then when you don't like something, disrespect him. Because it's you guys that are sounding real dumb and stupid. For real. Just let the young man live and do his thing. Anyway, that's my rant, to be quite honest. Take what you want from this. I really don't care. But I feel like I needed to say something about it. And that's my disposition. Austin, keep on doing your thing. Keep on growing your channel. Keep on vlogging. Keep on giving your opinions to what you feel to your heart. I don't necessarily agree with everything that you say. I don't agree with how you carry yourself half the time. But I understand you are 23. Maybe you are a bit older. Maybe you are 24. I don't know. But you are a young man, and I understand how you move. And you can't help but be 23, 22. You can't help that. You know, you have to expect a 23-year-old to act like a 23-year-old. And don't castrate him or diss a 23-year-old for acting like a 23-year-old. But what you grown-ass men got to do is really, really, really check yourselves. Really check yourselves. If Austin Hollman affects you that much, or affects your life, or affects who lives in rent-free, then yo, you're gonna need a psychiatrist. Sorry, it's bad. Sorry, I'm recovering from a little flu, but honestly, yeah, you need a psychiatrist, man. If Austin affects you that much, you need a psychiatrist. Anyway, Big J, buenos dias, salute, peace and power.